Yeah, so if you watch my previous videos, I talked about some countries, how it's very difficult right now to seek asylum, how asylum seeking right now is very, very difficult. But however, there are still some countries that are a little bit lenient, they're a little bit, a kind of like they consider, immigrants a little bit. And if you are planning to travel through the visit route or the tourist route and you do not intend to return back, these are some of the countries that you can actually try. You can actually try your luck. I'm not trying to say that they're completely 100%, sure, but at least compared to some other country, at least they still have a big heart for asylum seeking and immigrants right now. And some of these countries, at least they accept what immigrant. We all know that recently a lot of EU countries, Schengen countries, they're trying to tighten up their immigration process. They are trying to say that they don't want a lot of immigrants. They don't want, in terms of asylum seeking. And let me tell you, like about 17 countries are kind of like supporting this motion, although they have not come out to officially say that they are supporting the motion. But then, with the way things are going right now, like especially let's just say from Nigeria, getting a tourist visa, getting visas right now is very, very hard, very, very difficult. It's like almost impossible. Like, I'm telling you, you're gonna get all the requirements and they're still gonna deny you visa. That is to tell you that they are making the immigration law very, very strict and very, very what, hard. Except maybe they are seeing a very huge amount of money in your account, and they are saying that maybe this one, if he or she goes, there's nothing that's going to make he or she stays there. The person is going to return back. Otherwise, when you apply right now, what you're going to get most of the times is, uh, we are doubting if you're going to return and all of that. That's what you keep getting, and that is what is happening, right? Like the visa rejection rate is so high, I'm telling you. But however, if you're lucky and you get a visa, please, these are some of the countries that I would advise that at least they still have, a tiny space in their heart at least for asylum seekers and all of that. Okay, so you can try these countries I want to mention right now. Okay, number one is Portugal. Yes, before now we all know that Portugal, like if you get there with a tourist visa and all of that, you can actually switch, you can actually convert it. But a lot of people now got to know about this whole thing and they stopped it. I think lately last year they stopped it. Before, if you get to Portugal, you can actually convert your tourist visa to a permanent resident or or a temporary resident. But however, you can still seek asylum if your case is very strong. If your case is very strong, you package yourself very well, the actually going to at least consider your case. So Portugal is one of the countries that you should put into consideration. It's not all that a big country, but you can start from there. Okay, another country that you should maybe try to consider is Spain. Yes, Spain is still very, very good. They are welcoming immigrants. Right from time, Spain's are welcoming people. They are very accommodating. I've seen people who give their stories how they went through the Libya road and all of that, the Sahara days at the desert, and they try to, I mean, it's a very deadly route. They find themselves in Spain, and they were welcomed and all of that before some of them begin to find a way to get into other countries. Spain right now, at least, they have a law right now that if you can stay and have a proof that you stay in the country for, like, I think 3 years, or is it 3 or 2 years, then if you have a proof that you stay in the country for 3 or 2 years, they are going to give you what, a residence permit. So you can consider what, Spain, even if you're in EU, in any of those countries, and you've been there for years and there's nothing to show for it, you can think of going to what, Spain, to if you go there, maybe look for work or look for a vocational school or thereabout, or then look for somebody to put in your armadum to show that at least you have stayed. After like 3 years, I think it's 3 or 2 years, then if you can prove that you have stayed there for 2 or 3 years, they are going to give you a resident or permit. So Spain is another place you should consider. Another place you should consider again is what, Italy. Yes, right from time, most of the people that are traveling, Italy has a very big heart for immigrant. I must say that when it comes to asylum seekers, most at times they hardly deport, immigrants. They hardly deport seekers. Okay, so if you're considering all those things, I think you should consider what, Italy. Italy is not a bad option at all. So I've mentioned like 3 countries right now. There are other countries, but I'm going to stop here. So if you are in any of those countries and even something things are not working for you, you've been there. We all know that there are some countries that you stay there for years. They will not deport you, but they're not going to give you paper. Okay, you can think of somewhere like Spain to go start your life from, get a job and all of that, get an employer, and when you stay for like 3 years, you can actually work, tender your evidence that you have lived in the country for such number of years, and you are going to be given what, residence permit. Okay, so if you're going to seek asylum, you can consider these countries: Portugal, Italy, or Spain. At least they still have a heart for immigrants. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Please like, share, and comment.